Hi, I'm Ilhaan and I like to watch movies but then proceed to never stop talking about them. However, one movie I won't be watching is Mulan 2020, and if you need a definitive answer why, I'll link some of my favorite videos on the topic in the description box because they illustrate the film's flaws very well and in a far more articulate manner than I ever could. If you haven't seen the original Mulan, go watch it. Please, just do yourself a favor. Mulan was a 1998 Disney animated feature inspired by the Chinese poem and legend of Mulan. It follows the titular character as she cross-dresses as a soldier named Ping to replace her old and injured father, whilst also dealing with the struggle of bringing her family honor. Anyways, the one good thing that the live-action adaptation did was remind me of how monumental the original animated version was. But it also got me thinking about why and how Disney made the first film to begin with. Why did they specifically choose Mulan? Why not write their own original story? Who got to decide what to add and what to take away from the original legend? Once those questions rolled in, I immediately decided to ignore all of my assignments, abandon all of my other video ideas, and delve into a research project concerning a film that came out 22 years ago. So without further ado, let's answer the question. Why did Disney make Mulan?
But you did this for what?
Why not?
Why?
Why not?
Why though?
Okay, well, prior to doing any research, I'll admit that I had my own preconceived notions. I assumed Disney, well into the Renaissance era, and fresh off of the success of Aladdin, had decided to include an Asian character to their official lineup in order to offer more diversity, but maybe also to expand their international audience and appeal to the Asian market. So I was kinda right. Disney wanted to create a film with an Asian character and delegated it to the relatively new and inexperienced Florida studio to produce their first feature film, after they successfully aided in the animation for other projects such as Aladdin. Prior to Mulan, Disney was actually working on another project with an Asian female lead. She was apparently a damsel in distress who was saved by a British soldier. The animators didn't particularly like the character, so they ended up scrapping the idea. The man responsible for providing Disney with the original story of Mulan was Robert D. Sansucci, a children's book author who adapted the original poem and legend into the book The Song of Mulan, which was then turned into a script. The changes to the original story seem to be for several reasons. One obvious distinction from the legend is the addition of Mushu. Mushu, played by Eddie Murphy, was a fiery small dragon who provided the film with comic relief and some of its most iconic lines.
Oh! All right, that's it. Dishonor. Dishonor on your whole family. Make a note of this. Dishonor on you. Dishonor on your cow.
Stop. I'm sorry.
This addition came about when Barry Cook, who was one of the film's co-directors, was presented with either Mulan or another project. The other project had a dragon character, and because Cook was familiar with the symbolism of dragons in Chinese culture, he decided to go ahead with Mulan. So I guess you could say he got the best of both worlds. But due to the apparent lack of animal sidekicks that have been a part of Disney's signature, Roy E. Disney, the nephew of Walt Disney, was the one who suggested Mushu. As for the addition of Cricky, the beloved Lucky Cricket, that can be credited to Joe Grant, who insisted on the character despite the fact that several members of the staff felt like it wasn't necessary. As far as the changes to the overall plot of the original legend, Disney wanted to make Mulan different and separate her story from the typical Disney formula, whilst also using the original poem as a foundation and inspiration. They went through several ideas like making Mulan go off to war to escape her home life or giving her a strong romantic motive, but none of it fit right. Eventually they landed on the perfect setup. a normal, selfless girl who goes off to war in place of her father. Tony Bancroft, one of the film's co-directors, has stated that Mulan was motivated by love for her father, her emperor, and her country. It's that selflessness that separates Mulan from other Disney heroines. She doesn't want to change herself, and she isn't looking for a better life. She just wants to be accepted for who she is. I found a 1998 interview with the Orlando Sentinel in which Bancroft called Mulan the Florida studio's equivalent to Snow White. Another animator, Mark Henn, stated that there was a level of one-upmanship between studios and films. With each progressing project, there was a general sense that the next one needed to be better. I think that's what best explains the craftsmanship and artistry that went into Mulan. At the end of the day, I'm just one person, and I'm not at liberty to say what can be done with cultural legends, poems, or artistry. But the original Mulan meant a lot to a plethora of people, and it definitely didn't need a live-action adaptation. If someone wanted to create a historically accurate version of Mulan, then they should go ahead. But why advertise it as a Disney remake? Why give her superpowers or make her special? Doesn't that also infringe on the original story? The beauty of Mulan is that she was the first Disney character that was just a normal girl, not royalty or a mythical creature. She was just like any child watching, and that's precisely why she made a difference. She made an impact that is stuck with us 2 entire decades later. Thanks for watching. Drop any suggestions, critiques, and questions in the comments, and I'll see you next time.